guys, TinaGale here, and today I have this sketch from Paper Issues Friends and Fans Facebook page, and I invite you to play along too. There are 2 gift certificates up for grabs each month for playing along with any of the challenges, and this was a really fun sketch. It just had lots of these different sized layers of papers behind the photos. And then one thing that I changed up, it had this diagonal piece of paper along the bottom half, and I'm going to end up just doing a couple of small pieces. So that's pretty much the only thing that I changed up on the sketch for my design. And so today I'm working with the Pink Paislee Cedar Lane. This is my favorite collection, maybe of all time, definitely from 2015. And I have bought quite a bit up, so I pulled it out to use again. I have all of the ephemera and the puffy stickers and all of that, and lots of it left, so I've got plenty of pages in my arsenal to complete with this paper. And there is some of the papers, most of the papers that I use today are available in the store, in the Paper Issues store. There was a couple of sheets that are already sold out, and I think the ephemera pack may be sold out. I'm not sure if Cassie will get any more in, but if you're looking for any more of it, you can shop in Paper Issues and use the discount code TinaGale to save 20% off your entire order. So I've inked all of the edges of my papers, and I just alternated the papers. You saw in the very beginning I had a stack, so starting from smaller, and I just made each one just a little bit bigger and kind of stretched each one out a little bit so they're not like exactly square, they're more rectangular. So I just kind of alternated them from the right to the left, you just back and forth until I got to the bigger piece underneath. By inking all the edges, it just kind of helps them pop off of each other as well. I chose the red paper on the left hand side. I did have it directly behind the 2 photos since my daughter was kind of in a red coral kind of jacket, and I liked it, but I ended up liking it better where it was more to the left hand side. I just felt like it balanced the page off a little bit more. But I don't know, either one probably would have worked. So now I pulled out a lot of the ephemera pieces that I thought would work. I decided on these flowers, and this flower that I have right there, that's the pink one, I cut that apart from the larger one that's off to the bottom left. I wanted just a couple of more and just a bigger embellishment on this right hand side. And so I needed another flower, and there wasn't another one in the pack other than the clear acetate ones, and I really wanted one just a little bit darker. And so I just cut it away, and I'm going to stack the yellow one on top of it so you'll never see that it's got a big hunk cut out of it. Then I'm pretty much going to keep those embellishments the way they are. I stacked them up. I used some of the clear acetate pieces underneath to create a base for my clusters, and then used the printed cardstock ones on top for more dimension, and I added a glittered heart in each one of my clusters as well. And I had my photos straight on with just a little bit of space between them, but when I was getting ready to put the title on, and I had this little phrase sticker that says every day is a, and then I was using the best day in the puffy stickers. And when I got ready to do that, I just felt like, you know, there were some awkward little gaps and trapped spaces behind the title, and so I was trying to work around that. So I ended up slightly tilting the 2 photos, and by doing that, it helped that phrase sticker look a little better, at least by my eye. And I'm going to end up at the very end coming back and working on that because it still bothered me. And, you know, looking at it here straight on, it's probably okay. Probably could have lived with it, but I just really wanted something else. And I found a piece off the washi tape stickers or the little sticker sheets and stuff. So you'll see that at the end. So I've pretty much put everything down and decided that I was happy with it. So I'm going to start adhering it down. And the clear acetate pieces, I know a lot of people always ask, you know, what do you do to adhere them? And you can use adhesive in the areas that something else is going to go on top so that you don't see the adhesive through it. You could use a stapler and staple it on. I try to put the adhesive like behind the letter or behind the darker part that's printed. And normally I don't have any problem really seeing it to the front to a point that it would bother me. So I really don't have any problem whatsoever putting adhesive on it. Now I know some pieces might not look as good um, depending on what you're doing, but just try those tricks. Just put it in the areas, like on there, I just put adhesive on the very, very ends where it was going to be up underneath the paper. But if you can't get it there, then just try to get it under the printed parts, or either use like a stapler or something, or put an embellishment over the top so that you have a small area to put adhesive on. And then these are the little glittered hearts, and they were in the ephemera pack as well. And so I have two that's solid gold, and then the other one that I used at the bottom left is the darker blue-green color with just a slice of gold glitter along the right-hand side. So I just wanted that. I just wanted a pop of gold, just to kind of pull your eye around the embellishment pieces. So that worked for me. And then here's what I was talking about that I changed up. Instead of the large diagonal piece, I think I had one piece of paper I could have used, but I really didn't want to cut a big diagonal chunk out of it, because I'm really, even though I have quite a bit of this paper because I bought so much of it up, I'm still slightly hoarding it. And so I had a couple of pieces from other layouts where I'd cut diagonal, were smaller triangles, and I really ended up, I cut them off and tried it, and I liked the way it looked with just the small floral at the top, and then I used the solid kind of turquoise one at the bottom. I really liked it, so that's what I went with. But then I decided when I did that, I wanted just a little bit down there. It was just a little bit floating, so I wanted a little bit of embellishment down there to kind of put some weight in that area. And so I went with this gold foil heart, and there's a transparency that's the acorn with a little bit of gold. And I stuck that on and I liked it, but I knew it needed something else, but I wasn't quite sure, and I was going to have to pull my embellishments back out. So I decided to get my journaling pen, and even though I inked the edges, I still wanted just a little bit more definition between all of the layers. And so one of the tricks that I do a lot of time is just to sketch a really rough line around the outside of my papers. And it's not straight by any means, it's just a really loose kind of sketched, drawn line. So if you haven't tried that, try it. I know it's kind of old school in a way, a new version of an old school, but I really like the way it looks to help divide papers against each other, and it's just another way that you can do it besides inking. And then I'm just going to add the journaling underneath here, and I don't have a lot to say, it's just a little bit. These are photos of my daughter on one of our trips to Disney back in, I think they were 2012. And we had got to meet Thumper, and then Miss Bunny came out too, and she was just really intrigued by my daughter, and we got some really cute photos, so I'm just writing about that a little bit. And then this is what I'm going to go back and try to figure out how I can fix that bottom and where that title's at. And I found this little piece of washi sticker that says happiness, so I decided to tuck it up underneath that little cluster there. And that was just enough to make me happy with that embellishment. It brought a little bit more of that coral color down there and another shape. So I'm bringing kind of the rectangular shape from all the layers under the paper. I'm kind of repeating it down there. So it really helped. And then I'll go back at the very end and add some enamel dots as well. And then I'm going back to this title and trying to see if I can find something to go under there. And there was this washi tape strip with this gold foil arrow on there, and that was perfect because it just did enough to kind of fill in that gap for me, that my eye wasn't like looking at it thinking that it was really odd. So if you have little spaces like that, washi tape is a great item to use on areas like that to fill in and just give something where it's not adding a lot of design elements or something, but it's filling in that gap. So that title is still my, still my focal point and everything, and you hardly notice the arrow, but it's just enough to break that up and not have that trapped space in there. So I went through my enamel dots, found some that matched the blue in the layout. I'm going to scatter those around, and then that's going to finish this layout. So I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to hop on over to Paper Issues, the Friends and Fan Facebook page. Join along with this sketch challenge, or we have lots of other challenges every day of the week. And like I said, there's a chance to win 2 different gift certificates when you play. So we'd love to have you. And if you need products, like I said, these some of these papers are still in the store. So if you haven't got them, or if you're needing to stock up on more, check those out. Use my discount code TinaGale to save 20% off your order. And we'll see you real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.